Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. And today we'll be talking about a mage setup that costs just under 100 million coins, which is pretty cheap if you might think, but still it's extremely viable with the correctly paired catacombs levels. So today we're going to talk about none other than the Yeti sword. The Yeti sword is actually a mage weapon due to its really good ability. This was used when Dungeons first released as a meta weapon, but is barely used right now. But it still is really good. Also, just to avoid any confusion, I'm gonna just show my gear and my catacombs level so that you know what it is. So first of all, for the helmet, I'm gonna be using Ancient Wizard Goggles. This is nothing much. It has Hot Potato Books, it's 5-star, and the regular Growth 5 and Prot 5. And then the rest is Necromancer Lord chestplate, and then the rest of it is also Necromancer Lord armor. This one is mythic. It's just pretty cheap. I don't have a recombobulator for this, but you'll be fine if you don't have one, just for one piece. But the reason these have recombobulators is because I need extra mana, and also these have the regular growth 5, protection 5, and all that normal stuff, and also rejuvenate just for the extra healing. And also the Yeti sword is a suspicious Yeti sword with ultimate wise 5, smite 6, and the whole stuff. And also for the pet, I'm going to be using a level 83 legendary sheep with a textbook. And my catacombs level is 28 right here. As you can see, my catacombs level is 28. So now let's test this weapon out in a dungeon and outside of dungeons. For the dungeon test, we're going to be testing it out right here in the graveyard. And also, this weapon does so much damage. I mean, it's not as much as a Hyperion, but it's still really good for late game mages and stuff like that, since of its insane base damage and its scaling and stuff like that. So let's test it out here on the zombie. So the best way to use the Yeti sword is to look down and right click, so it'll instantly hit the target right next to you. So let's do it right here, and as you can see, it did 355,000 damage. Let's do it again. This does 194,000 damage. This time it does 370,000 damage, and against this zombie, 362,000 damage. I've seen this do about 400,000 damage at max. There you go. That was also 330,000. But it still is really good even outside of dungeons. And it can be also used in slayers. So now we've hopped on to a floor 6 right now. This is pretty much a average dungeon that most people do. And yeah, this is a really good floor to test it out. So let's start up right here. I'm also playing the mage class, and I'm mage level 24. So let's go on right here, and I missed that. Let's get up some speed because we're kind of slow right now as a mage. There we go. We did 3.9 million damage. Let's do it again, and we're fighting a shadow assassin right now. There we go. We just quickly killed that shadow assassin. It was really easy though. Even though I kind of almost died, but we did survive. Let's do a damage test right now again against this Withermancer. We did 4 million damage. And the Zombie Knight 4.5. Skeletons 4.6. Mostly like that. It's mostly in the 5 million damage range, but eventually your damage will go up with the blessings. So we're doing an average of 3 million type damage. Let's do it at a single target right now again. Here. We did 2.7 and 3.7 million damage. Let's do one more against this fell. 3.6 million damage. 4.5, 3.6, 4.7. So as you can see, this Yeti sword is doing a really good amount of damage, even though my catacombs level is slightly low. Now let's test the left click damage. And also, as I showed before, I'm wearing ancient wither goggles. And as I showed before, I'm wearing ancient wither goggles, and I have a suspicious Yeti sword, which gives a lot of crit damage. So let's test out the left click damage. Also, I don't have much crit chance, so it might be hard to get. There we go. We did 780,000 damage. Let's try this once more. Let's test it out on the skeleton master right now. There we go. Now, give me a sec. Let's equip a griffin pet just for the damage. Level 90 rare griffin. And boom, 977,000 damage. But as I said before, with the blessings your damage will scale higher. But if you're going for mostly RCM damage, I recommend using the legendary sheep. Or if you're going for a combination of LCM and RCM at the same time, it might be a bit hard to get the hang of it, but it's still very useful. So I recommend having a good damage pet like a griffin or a lion pet or something like that, just to aid you with more damage. And also, if you're using the Yeti sword, if you want to go with full left click damage, you should definitely get a legendary baby Yeti pet, because its third perk increases at level 100, increases the base damage and intelligence by 100. And also, after the strength nerf, base damage is highly important when it comes to damage, so it'll help really well. I would say if you can't afford a Hyperion, this is an amazing weapon to be using in floor 7. So that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in another video.